jump in and see. Should be. And coming to you live from Kenny's basement apartment where the ghosts are in the system. And I mean bad because there's some technological foolery going on. It's sports allegedly.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this second episode of the week. We are at the 10th day of January 2024. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to obviously dive really deep into the NFL playoffs, the matchups. We're also going to talk about coaching changes in the NFL, and we're going to do our predictions for the playoffs, and then we'll move on from there. But first, breaking news today that we had heard just 2 hours before this podcast was Alabama head coach Nick Saban is officially, according to Chris Lowe from ESPN, is retiring after I think it was 17 years at Alabama.
That was called. We called that earlier. Said he was going to retire.
Kind of talked about that a little bit earlier in the year. Now, I think that one of the reasons that probably helped him retire is as good as years they had, and I don't think that most people in college football thought they were going to be that good, especially how they started off, losing to Texas. South Florida, I believe, was a loss or a close. It was a loss.
No, they only lost to Texas.
That's right. It was a close game. That's right.
Terribly close. That was where Milroe got benched, and they put in.
And so they were having quarterback issues. Some weird guy. I think it was early this week or maybe Thursday, Friday. Kevin Steele, first year defensive coordinator, obviously been around college forever. He announced his retirement. And I thought, man, after 1 year, it seemed odd that was going to be.
That was crazy. That Steele was like, I'm out. And it's like,
also that they and so it makes a little bit of sense now. So now you look ahead after all the years that Nick obviously was there, took over a program at Alabama that once was mighty in glory, was pretty downtrodden for a good.
You know, I was there when right before he came in, and
for a good
all the
mid '90s to mid 2000s.
There's a certain coach's name that you do not mention.
Would that be Shula?
Tide fans hate Shula. That's all. That's something that I can attest to.
Well, 6 national titles.
Mentioning his name was a fist fight.
6 national titles at Alabama sets the coaching. He does have the coaching record.
He is, and
he is because definitely in modern day, because you look at what he done. You know, he was at Toledo 1 year. I think he went to Michigan State, built them up a little bit, left and went to LSU, and I think he was there at 4 or 5. And then he was 4 or 5 at LSU, and they won a national title, beat OU, and then took the NFL job and
realized that the NFL is a terrible place for college coaches.
And I didn't look. I wonder what was his record at the Dolphins.
It was horrible.
Was it that horrible?
Yeah, it was horrible.
I didn't think it was like super horrible.
Look up, Chuck Wagon. Nick.
No, I think that I think what happened was and it wasn't a good team that he had taken over, and he went 2 years, and Alabama came.
Where did Nicki Minaj come from? Look at Nick's.
But 72 years old, just turned 72 in October. Nick, he says he's going to wrap it up head coaching. Now,
is he going to go back to Kent State and finish it?
No, I think what he's going to do, I see him.
He retires at Alabama, goes to Kent State for a nice, easy, soft job.
I wonder if he gets back, if he stays, and he did pretty well on TV, I thought. So I think that would be something if he's interested in doing that. Of course, he's a West Virginia guy.
He'd have to go be D.C. and Cleveland before he came back.
Yes, he was D.C., and that was with
he
coached with Belichick.
Yeah, I forgot about those years.
And then went to Michigan State.
No wonder that's where he gets a sunny demeanor.
Yeah, and then the 2 years at Miami, and then Alabama, of course, got hired in 2007.
Yeah, see, I told you it wasn't that long in Miami.
No, 2 years. It was 2 seasons. Yeah, he was there
4
for 2
seasons at Michigan State, 4 years at Lou, and then just that 1 year that did he get fired halfway through? Let's go find out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to Saban. Did he quit or did he?
He quit. He took the he took the Alabama job.
Hurricane. Oh, I thought that said Hurricane Kitna. I was like, was he still?
So
Kitna still?
So what was he? Was he 6-10 1 year?
Let's see, 6-10, and then
your year went down too far.
Yeah. Well, it's all written in stupid.
I just couldn't remember.
Let's see.
I just
he had
couldn't
Ronnie
remember.
Brown at his back. Lost 2 games to the Bills. Finished 6-10 in his first losing season as a head coach. I don't see anything for that.
Yeah, see, so that, and look at, right there, it tells you that his second year, the defensive ranked in the top 10 in the NFL. Their offense was horrible. They
3-7.
they didn't take Drew Brees, if you remember. They took Dante Culpepper. Then they had Joey Harrington. So I mean, that was some of the things that hurt him still, and it shows you how important the quarterback is, no matter what.
A team making bad decisions on players? No,
not at all.
I mean, let's look at Tepper. Tepper could have had C.J. Stroud. Frank Reich wanted C.J. Stroud.
I don't think
that's what David Tepper did.
I don't think Bryce Young.
David Tepper took Bryce Young.
I'm not going to go Bryce
Young.
Yeah,
but look at how those two turned out.
I don't think
the playability between the two.
I think that the Houston was a better.
Do you think
team.
D'Amico Ryans had a better setup?
I think the team was just better. Period. Going in, the new coaches. I think that Houston has had a lot of number 1 draft picks or top. Over the past years because they've stunk. And you look at bad drafts for Carolina. I'm not saying that. But, I mean, can you think of anybody besides Thielen that came over to Carolina that was worth a shit at all? Player-wise.
There was a
linebacker.
There was a linebacker.
Yeah, but, I mean, you can't even think of his name. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
he got injured early
there's
in the year.
nobody. I mean, Laramie Tunsil, he's one of the best tackles.
I'm going to tell you right now, my brain
Houston
doesn't work
So
right
for Houston, they've got some good players, and then, of course, they brought in the freshmen.
But Houston had that good setup.
Yes, they did.
And it was, but it also attests to the coaching of D'Amico Ryans.
Well, I think that's fine.
He got guys in and set up.
But I mean, Davis Mills.
I was reading the article on the offensive coordinator that he brought in for C.J. Stroud. That he had brought in himself.
Bobby Slowick.
Yeah.
Slowick. Yeah.
Oh, we do need to talk.
And he's being interviewed right now too. So
you think Wink Martindale's gonna?
Well, I've got him on my list. We'll talk about him after the playoffs.
I want to talk about him going after Dayball.
Yeah. So give me have you thought anything about as we leave college? Did you got any thoughts on who might be taking over? Can you give me 3 or 4 guys that stick out in your head?
Do you think they'd bring Bill O'Brien back from?
No, that's a definite no. I got 3 to 4 possibilities.
Well, we know they're going to go after. Dabo.
See, I don't think so. I think he's damaged goods now.
I know, but they're going to go after him. They're going to talk to him.
Fans won't be happy with it.
Honestly, I can't. You think what? Do you think they're going to try to bring Sarkisian over?
I think they talked to him, but I don't think you should leave. I think Texas is still a better job than Alabama. I think there's more resources. Just size, the state. I mean, now and less pressure. There's gonna be less pressure on Saban at Texas now since he made the Final Four. He's gonna have 2 years probably to sit there and go, okay, well, even if we
you got Dayball. Dayball might be available soon.
So then I like Dan Lanning. I think Dan Lanning's a choice to look at. To come back to the SEC, even though...
You think Dan leaves big money Oregon to come down?
I don't know. There's been a lot of coaches that have left Oregon. I mean, you look at... Willie, he's another one. I don't know.
Mario Cristobal?
He would have a good personality to be the replacement for Nick Saban because he just doesn't give a shit. I think that's going to be the hardest thing about that job.
You got Cristobal as well.
I think that's going to be the hardest thing about that job is the pressure. Of just following Nick Saban and the expectations. And the expectations.
You're going to have to be successful.
Yeah. But it could be a surprise. I mean, Lincoln Riley's name is floated around. That would be the only job he would take in college, even though he said that about Oklahoma and then took the USC job, which I think he's damaged goods
Riley.
too.
You think?
Yeah,
You think they really want him?
No, but I'm just throwing out names that. Now,
you can have a high-powered offense, but everything else is just going to fall apart for you.
One interesting thing that I don't know how true it is, but that I was reading something that Arthur Blank for the Falcons is really intrigued by Kirby Smart. So if that's something that Smart looks at to go,
I think Kirby might have learned something from.
It's possible, but
from Nick about going there.
But college then, when Nick left, versus college now is night and day.
Hey,
I mean, the work is the work is just that much more.
What do you think about that?
No,
you don't think Dan's going to leave the NFL to come back?
No, I don't think you're going to find any NFL head coach coming in to take that
What's
job.
he doing these days?
He was back at Central Michigan.
Huh. I'm just looking at coaches.
So you don't think
they're definitely not hiring Jimbo?
One guy.
We know that.
One guy that might be, and I don't even know if he's got any connection, but look at Mike Norvell from Florida State. He's built that team. He's had some good recruiting classes.
That's true.
He's wanting to get the hell out of that conference, and they're kind of in a mess right now.
And he would have availability to bring all of the players, the defense, and
he is a guy that he was a Memphis coach. He knows the recruiting ground there. So that's just somebody. I don't know if a lot of people's mentioned that, but I'm going to go. I would be surprised if it wasn't Lanning, Norvell, or Lane would be my three choices when it comes to the coaches. Not that I think those are all the best, but I think that. Now, if Kirby Smart leaves and goes to the NFL, Dan Lanning's head coach number 1 at Georgia, hands down. So there's no doubt about that. So it'll go into a bit
Butch Jones. We forgot about Butch Jones. And Joe Judge.
All right. Anything else? Anything else on Saban? There's a lot. I mean, the coaching tree has been.
So that went up to the NFL. That came from.
It's kind of why you look at these guys that are, and some of them you've seen.
One of the good things that you've seen is guys that go to the NFL and then come back to college. They have an easier time with that transition. Instead of a coach going from college to the NFL, very, very few have actually worked out.
But you see
as a head coach.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You see a lot of assistants.
Assistants move up and they stay there for a minute, and like this, and they'll come down and they'll go back up.
So Pete Carroll want to get back in the college game after being fired by Seattle?
Pete Carroll said he took an analyst job.
He took a what?
He's took an assistant analyst job. He's got another job already.
No, he's got a job within the Seattle, but it's not a coaching job.
I think it's 62. I think he's done too.
I think he's older than 62.
I thought he was 62.
I think that dude is like a mean and lean 70. I mean, that guy looks. Not that he's going to go back into.
How did you get ahead like that?
I would go.
72.
Oh, see there. Yeah, see there. No, the guy's like the best 72 in shape. But
I think he's ready. I think that he is ready to just sit back and relax, stay within the organization.
I don't think so.
But not coach any longer.
I think there's going to be teams right now that come after.
You think he comes to college? Or
I don't know about college. I mean, he did so well, but it's been so long. But I can see it. I mean, couldn't you see Carolina or Atlanta going, hey, you want to come coach here?
Oh, God, yes. I could see Carolina, especially if he can put up
a culture. Yeah, I mean, culture guy. He's a young 72. I don't think he's done. I don't.
I would hope that he would be. Because he's got, 2 Super Bowls?
The rumor had it was that this came down to
national title.
This came down to a Geno Smith thing. And ownership, whether it be management, ownership, whatever, wasn't a big Geno Smith fan. He was, and then Geno kind of.
Yeah, Geno got injured.
That's what I was going to say. So he didn't have like a horrible year.
Put in Drew Lock.
But he went to bat for him. They signed him to a mega contract, and I think that's kind of what. And that might have been some conversations. Hey, we're going to go a quarterback route, and Pete Carroll went, "Yeah, wish you wouldn't," or "I don't think you should." And they're like, "Well, piss off."
No, but the best thing they could have done was get a quarterback. Keep Geno and get a quarterback this year, and then
it's possible. That's the talk. Yes.
And then have that work out.
No, I agree. So, congratulations, Nick Saban. Hey, glad you're leaving the SEC, baby. I mean,
we're coming in.
Exactly.
You're going
there is no doubt that we and that's going to be. It's going to be sad because Alabama comes to OU next year, and we don't know who the head coach is going to be. So it's going to be interesting to see that. All right, let's move on. We'll do a little bit of talk about. You want to recap the national championship game?
I thought we were going to keep going with coaching.
No, we'll get to the NFL on that. We'll talk about NFL coaches.
Well, we just started.
You wanted to? No. Well, I was comparing maybe Pete coming to college. I mean, I'm not saying that he will.
He's already been in college.
That's what I'm saying, coming back.
I thought you were saying,
that's why I was trying to segue there. We could segue into NFL if you don't want to talk about
Pete.
You don't want to talk about the national championship game?
I mean, would come in? Oh, well, I tried to get you talking about the national championship game right after. I have to go find it.
I was depressed.
Were you?
No, I wasn't.
And I told you what they needed to do. They needed to establish the run game. They couldn't get down early.
No,
and
they
got
did
down, and they got everything I said they needed to do. They did not do. Washington did not do.
Well, no, and everything we said Michigan should do, they did. It was like perfect game plan.
Yeah, but Michigan just had to go play.
And it was so many times I watched that game that Washington was only down by 7, and they had the ball, I think, 4 or 5 straight possessions, and just could not do anything. and it was just the most frustrating.
It was weird because you looking at it, you're going, okay, they're going to do it. They're moving, and then they just stall.
Of course, I'm not going to count the 14-point swing at the end. I mean, that was kind of that was when it was over, especially that last touchdown. But
who got away on that? Was that Quorum that got away?
One of them he did.
Yeah.
Yes, one of them he did. So hey, and give credit to Michigan. I mean, they played, now in my opinion, like I said before, I thought they played one of the weaker schedules because I thought the Big Ten was down offensively, and obviously Ohio State was down. Their non-conference wasn't the greatest, and I thought Washington played a much tougher schedule, and McCartney didn't have to do much. Penix had 2 turnovers that were bad.
Penix could not get it to
and his receivers, but there was a couple times he missed some of them pretty bad.
Odunze, the first one, the one that Odunze got open right there at the beginning.
It was disappointing. It really was.
And it was a miscommunication between the both of them. He threw farther than Odunze thought that he was supposed to go.
I thought that was probably, I wouldn't say, it probably was their worst game they played. I know one game against Washington was pretty bad.
It was the ugliest game.
But you have to give credit to Michigan because the defense probably made them play a little bit that way.
I mean,
I thought Michigan tackled well. They did everything, and they played good team ball.
You got all of your touchdowns off running.
Yeah, and they just kept running.
I mean, J.J. McCarthy only had 140
What was their total rushing, Sean? Was it over
303?
Okay, 303. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, and Washington had 46.
Which we talked about Dylan not going to be healthy, Dylan Johnson for Washington. And he tried to give it a go, but they never could get the run game going, and that hurt them the most because they became so one-dimensional.
Yeah, I said that they didn't have a superstar running back after him. Like, they don't. They've got good running backs, and they don't have any superstars. I mean, look at what you run. You run him 11 times, and you got one guy for 9. You got Nixon, who they had in the most.
Could you see Georgia though just killing Michigan though?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see. I
mean, that was the disappointing part of it, because and how you sat back and being a Georgia fan, you got to sit there and go, how the hell did Alabama beat us? Was that our off game? Because I thought Georgia
really was.
I thought Georgia the whole year was the best team in college football. And
I saw a list of.
And hey, what's going to be great is we've got 4. We had a 4 playoff team. Next year it moves to 12, and we're not going to see those one game. If you mess up the one game and it's in the playoff, that's your bad. But maybe losing in an SEC championship or the rivalry game at the end of the year is not going to ruin your season like we saw some this year.
This year, like generally, it doesn't affect it. Then all of a sudden, it has an effect on it.
What?
The championship game. TCU lost their title game and they got in.
Yes, they did.
So every year up until now, it didn't matter.
I think
you would win in, lost a game, got in. Ohio State, I think they did the same thing. Alabama's done it.
Well, I think what happened was you had an undefeated Florida State kind of messing everything up there because
nobody wanted that.
Well, no, but it just had to put Georgia behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it just had to. I mean, that was.
But
that's
also
what it was.
remember that
let's be honest.
Texas had somehow shackled Alabama all season. Oh, we can't get them behind them. We can't get them behind them.
Yeah, I know. Till the end.
I'm confused by this. We've never done it this way. We have never in the history of the sports rankings have ever been we can't do this.
But wasn't it Texas that did move up 4 spots after beating OSU at the end? So they had moved up because Georgia and Alabama
State
and
Coach Sealand.
I'm sorry, it was Georgia and who was it else that had? Oh, and Oregon was the other one that had to drop down. So, no, I mean, I don't know. I thought Texas was worthy. I just really thought that Georgia, and honestly, was better. But they, and we've been the benefactor of that.
I know.
Oklahoma. Yeah, so we've been the benefactor of their conference champs.
But like I said, it never mattered until this season.
Yeah. Right.
That's right. That's one thing that we got into it about was, you're like, oh, they have to take it. They have to. I was like, no, it's never mattered.
No, I really thought they had to.
And then all of a sudden, it mattered.
Yeah, they had to. Yeah, that's how. Well, it was because they kept keeping. It's like how you watch them rank them every week.
Congratulations.
It was consistency.
Congratulations to Michigan Wolverines. J.J. McCarthy, you now enter into a list of
Some people mock drafts have got him in the top 10,
Hold
15.
on, you now listen. You now enter into the list of recent title-winning quarterbacks. Stetson Bennett. It's got.
He seems to be the more talented.
McCarthy. Who's the other guy?
He seems to be.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, he seems to be. He seems to be one of the guys.
Yeah, I'm dogging on all the quarterbacks.
I wouldn't draft him. And after watching Penix, watching Penix, I don't know. I think I've moved him down a little bit. And like I think everybody. Hey, and like I said, I have said from the beginning, I thought that none of the quarterbacks in this draft
I saw a mock
would take.
I saw a mock trade where
unless early.
The Bears had traded out and somebody had put Penix Jr. and a Dunze. We could trade down. Them? Yeah, trade down to where we're right above.
Yeah.
That 10th, 9th one.
And then you have your another 2 in a row.
Yeah, just double it up. Just be like, all right, this guy and this guy.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations to Michigan. The game was pretty good because Michigan for a while couldn't pull away from them. And that was what was making it exciting because it was, I think it was 17-10 forever. And then I thought it was 17-3.
No,
then 17-10. Yeah, 17-10. And I really think that if I can remember counting, because I was so frustrated, Washington had 4 to 5 series where they just could not do anything, and was stopping Michigan too. The defense kind of played better, and kind of held them in run.
It was 17-3.
They held them in run check for a while.
Yeah, this is where we were getting scared because it was 17-3, and then they scored the touchdown right before halftime, and gave Michigan a chance to score again.
But look at that. Scored with 8:58, and it was 7 points. And then when was the next time that they scored? See, it was 7 left. So all that series about mid-third to mid-fourth.
Third quarter was...
Mid-third to mid-fourth, you're sitting there going, man, come on, let's get this done. But they just couldn't do it. You look at the 2 big plays. It was penalties. Anyway, congratulations. Does Harbaugh stay or go?
That's the question.
What do you think?
Oh, he's already been talked to. I know he's been talked to by Tepper, or wanted to talk to by Tepper.
Prediction?
It's really hard because what NCAA sanctions are going to come out of the cheating scandal?
Not going to affect him in the NFL though.
Yeah, well,
I don't think so.
Those penalties.
I don't think so. There's not going to be a show cause or anything. See, show cause is the worst. And what are they going to suspend him 1 game in the NFL? I don't think anybody.
Fine him his pay.
Yeah, I don't buy that bullshit. So, and I don't even think that affects his mentality of choosing a job. I mean, he doesn't care. The NCAA's one of the weakest,
He stays, supposedly. He can come in, he can deal with all these new teams, these new big Pac-12 teams coming into the Big Ten.
So what's your prediction?
With him, I honestly have no idea.
I think he's gone. I think he goes NFL.
I have no honest clue about what he's going to do.
His goal when he said that, because he's an alum at Michigan, he said we're going to bring them back and we're going to make them.
The Bears drafted
we're going to make them relevant. And I thought, okay, so now they've won the championship. What more are you going to do now? I mean, you're not going to win it next year would be my prediction.
Scapegoat coaching.
So I think he goes. I think he goes to. It all really depends about
Tampa Bay.
No, it depends on Belichick. Really, that's the one that.
Oh God, nobody even.
But I don't know because see, as segue into the coaching right now before we get to the playoffs.
Just saying.
Okay, let's do that. We'll talk about Harbaugh. Okay.
I'm just saying. There's a lot of coaching going on. There's a lot.
So you've got Vrabel fired. Surprised? I'm not, because they fired John Robinson last year.
Because it should have happened last year.
No, I don't think so. They fired John Robinson last year, the guy the GM.
They should have fired.
They were close.
So now there's talk of Vrabel going into New England.
Yeah, but Jared Mayo, defensive coach, is high on Kraft's picks of being the heir apparent, and that's kind of what I am leaning to thinking is that a GM comes in and relinquishes that Belichick, and Mayo gets moved up to like some sort of associate head coach or blah blah blah, and he's almost the coach in waiting.
Then Arthur Smith, he got ousted in Atlanta, hot Atlanta. Right after he had a little victory formation, and the boys for New Orleans decided they wanted to they open the damn door. Hey, somebody's out here.
So,
do you know that?
So anyway, what we were talking about, the coaches. My little one come out because anyway, the coaching. As far as the coaching goes, is
so Arthur Smith. I know that there's talk of
Vrabel's out. Oops, sorry.
Jesus, Kenny.
Vrabel's out.
Vrabel's out. Arthur Smith out. Frank Wright was already out. Staley was out.
Not really.
Who else?
Hey, hold on.
We're still up in the air.
You can set. Okay,
we're still up in the air in New England. Chicago's looking for an offensive coordinator.
Offensive every staff.
They fired the whole staff.
So Vrabel's out. We've got Arthur Smith out. Pete Carroll's now out. That job's open. Raiders coach the Raiders
still
coaching
up in the air.
Is you think Pierce is leaning that way?
I would hire Pierce. The way that he's got the team.
Of course, you've got
Mark Davis.
You've got Carolina open too.
Yeah, well, Mark Davis needs to finally just say, I'm going to hire the guy who's keeping the locker room together. He had that chance before he brought in McDaniels.
That's correct.
And he screwed that up.
What was that guy's name?
That was Crom.
No, it's Green. It's Green. No, it's Green Bay's special teams coach.
I thought it was Chromium.
No.
Chromium. But anyways, he did great. But yet he got
Rick
passed over.
Bisaccia.
Huh?
Rick Bisaccia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Bisaccia.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I mean, I could see the guy's face.
I said his name.
I could see his face. Yeah.
Bisaccio.
So you think he's going to bite the bullet? So what happens though if you can get a Harbaugh at the Raiders instead of a Pierce? Is that the way you go? Because Pierce is really going to be a coveted defensive coordinator, and it looks like the Giants.
Pierce won't stay.
No, he won't stay. But the Giants are going to want him and probably pay him pretty well as a DC.
Yeah.
Because Wink's gone. Yeah, that was apparently that was a big pissing match, and that got ugly, and it was like,
when you fire his special assistant, it gets got. I've read that he said his piece, slammed the door, and walked out.
Got into a fight and was done. So no, I think that was that's interesting because I thought that defense was doing better, and I like him too.
So hit a door.
Oh yeah, door and 5, 4, 3. There we go.
Oh no, hit the cans first.
So
yeah, I don't see. So they're blaming Wink Martindale and the defense for their collapse, even though I'd read in the last few games, Martindale had gotten praise, and it was their offense that just wasn't working.
How do you move those over, Sean?
What are you doing?
We need to go over. There we go. Okay. No, what'd you say? It was the what?
Oh yeah, your battery's about to die.
It was the what now?
That the teams that they had played were his schemes and stuff, Wink Martindale's schemes for the last few games. He had gotten high praise from the other team because of what he had done and how he, stopping everybody, finally getting everybody on track.
Yeah, Giants were third to last in offense, so I don't think anybody needs to worry about that defense.
But they blamed the defense.
I know, and they were more talented, I thought. Now, the front line on Giants are pretty talented.
You started it with what's his nuts, oh fucking goofy eyes, Daniel Jones. Every picture I saw of him, that guy looked lost.
I don't think...
He looked like he needed a handler just to take him to the bathroom.
And I don't think Dayball likes him either, so I think that's going to be and he might be on his way out after this year. All right, so you've got Ben Johnson's obviously the hot commodity, OC.
That would have been John.
I like Todd Monken from.
I think Todd's gonna go.
I think he'll leave the Ravens. I think that Lamar Jackson's looked much different as a quarterback and much better. Not as run heavy first.
No, he's still running.
He does, but he's still throwing. And of course, they're still leaning on the offense. But the Ravens finished in the top 5.
You got to remember that even the Bills are looking for offensive coordinator.
But they finished in top 5. No, they're not. Joe Brady's going to stay. And that was another thing is the Buffalo and the Ravens.
Did they just promote him? They just promoted him.
Well, he's interim OC.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But he's going to stay because their offense got better. The record got better.
Well, Josh Allen was still Josh Allen.
But they ended up finishing top 6.
Steelers.
They top 6.
Steelers got better firing Canada.
They did.
They did. Moving that guy up.
Yeah, so they got better switching quarterbacks, too. Go ahead and talk about Kenny Pickett. Yeah,
Kenny Pickett's still the future.
Yeah. And Pittsburgh people thought that, too.
I had left the Pickett train a long time. I jumped on that Purdy train. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yes. I love Mr. Purdy.
All right. Well, there's your coaching moves. We've got a lot of predictions, but I mean, they're not done yet, so it's gonna be interesting.
We need to find out what happens in college to find out what happens.
Well,
in
not
pros.
only that, as we're waiting on New England to fall, and I think that's going to show a lot.
What does this have to do with?
No. But anyway, let's talk. Let's go.
No, Kenny, let's talk about.
Let's talk about the NFC.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an interim. Let's talk about prostate health.
That's our sponsor, Prostate Health.
Normal looks yellow. The big one over here looks
big.
Man, that's pink.
We'd like to thank
red.
thank our computer and just for giving us all kinds of fun.
I don't even know where this comes from.
All right, let's go NFC. Right. Actually, you've got that pulled up.
Did you want to finish closing games
not really.
that got everybody in?
No. I don't think there was really anything exciting about it.
There
except
was.
The Saints
there really was.
Not Saints. The Texans and Colts was about it.
Tampa Bay not scoring a touchdown.
All they said was we need to win. We had a quarterback
Carolina.
Hurt. Hey.
No. But this. Okay. So
I
this
have
was
an interesting stat when we talk about Tampa Bay.
This was the Week 18 is always the worst. I hate Week 18. You've either got teams that are playing for positioning or playing to get in. Or you've got teams that are already like, okay, well, we're here. We're going to set everybody.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what happened with San Francisco. And they got beat by L.A. by 1 point. Now, L.A.'s the hottest team going in, from what I heard. They're the hottest team going in.
They're getting healthy. Uh-huh.
But they only did, and of course, that was with Carson Wentz. They already knew they were in, so they played Carson Wentz.
Yeah, correct.
This is a Sam Darnold Carson Wentz bowl.
Fun.
I think it's
that's why it turned about 21-20. Yeah. Which, give Rams credit. They 10-7. It was a big turnaround from last year. They got healthy, and I thought the Bills, even though that they only won by 7, I thought the Bills.
That was the funnest game of the weekend.
It was, but I thought the Bills.
Those two teams were trying because Dolphins wanted to keep
But
Buffalo out.
But that game never led me to believe that Miami was going to win that. The Colts and Texans game to me was more exciting because that went down to the end and the guy missed that one touchdown.
And the one thing that happened in Miami was a lot of their starting defense got injured.
Oh well, and they had no Tyreek and they had no Mostert.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's offense too.
Yeah.
I just never felt that they were going to win.
And then you go to that Giants Philly game. What Jalen Hurts
started?
No, he hurt a finger.
Yeah,
he dislocated a throwing hand. So what does that do going into the playoffs?
I don't know. That's a weirdest team. Let's move to the NFC. We'll talk about the matchups.
Well, this is NFC. Well, I'm just running through.
Well,
that game didn't matter. The Saints Falcons didn't matter
because the matchups for this week. None of the other games really mattered to me. The Jacksonville blew it. That was another game that they blew. It goes on to my thinking that Trevor Lawrence is never going to be an elite quarterback in the NFL. I've said that from day one. Never would have drafted him number 1. I
don't know why you don't love him.
And I just don't because I don't see it. That team actually regressed from last year.
So the crazy thing is AFC starting on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday is when we have
AFC
the NFC.
Well,
and
they have
one game,
mm-hmm.
and then they go to 2 games. So it's weird. I hate the setup. I really hate
I don't know.
I hate the scheduling.
I don't like the Monday games, but I do because I think
they have a Monday game because they have a contract.
No, I know, but it gives a disadvantage to the Monday night winner. But I do as long as you play them Sunday.
Well, that's definitely going to be Tampa Bay.
But let's talk about that game.
Let's go to that game.
Let's go to that game.
Philly by 3.
So
Hurts is going to have what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
He's going to have. He's going to get
a sucky defense
another
behind
day.
Him.
He's going to get an extra day to be healthy to fix that.
Yeah, correct.
So get an extra day of rest
But see, I never really thought that the offense is the problem with the Eagles right now. I think it's the defense and the secondary.
And it's a home game.
But here's the problem:
it's a home game for the Buccaneers, who finally have a winning schedule going into the South.
But here's the problem: is that their weakness is going to have to be something that Baker Mayfield plays very well and makes no mistakes, tries to hurry that.
But
stuff.
you guys,
we've seen some turnovers in the last few games.
But you guys are also still weak on running.
We are.
You have but Eagles have been giving up a lot of passing. So
I just wanted to say that for all the Baker Mayfield haters, cow turd for one. Look at what
cow turd.
Over 4,000 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Tampa is more than likely to resign.
But Baker's not going to be an NFL quarterback.
Tampa's is probably going to sign him, and I think they should pay him 2 year, maybe 50.
Yeah, because their biggest concern right now is
Offensive line.
honestly offensive line and running back.
Yes, offensive. Well, I think our running back's talented, but there's no
thing just
but there's no
right on.
But there's no offensive line to help that running game, so I can't really blame him. But no, they've got to sign Evans. You've got Winfield, who's
so
our
you have
safety.
2,000 yards. This is the third time they've done it. 2,000-yard running backs or wide receivers, Godwin and Evans. So what does that say? What does that say for that line and Baker being able to get the ball out?
Well, he's had to throw and run for his life because the offensive line has just not been as
So
good.
that's what I'm saying. His decision making, the guy that
It's been better.
isn't going to make it.
Yes, and he's gotten better as the year. But if he doesn't throw,
things.
Philadelphia's favored by 3. And another thing is there's only been one NFC team.
It took a 1-5.
There's only been one NFC team make the playoffs in the last 4 seasons, and that's been Tampa Bay. Out of all the other NFC teams.
Yeah, we know because they're in a weak damn
But
division.
doesn't matter. I mean, that's
because they say we have to take this team.
But they want.
If they didn't do that,
I
guarantee you, if they didn't do that, we have to take this team from this division.
But they won.
They would not have been in it.
They won a Super Bowl amongst
Bowl.
those 4
They won
years.
a Super Bowl. Yeah, they cheated again. They always cheat. That's all that Tampa does is cheat.
Don't be hating. But anyway,
cheating Tampa.
All right, let's move on to
real men play real football in the North, you used to be.
Let's move on to the game that doesn't excite me near as much. Is go to the
Cowboys Packers.
I don't see this being a game. Now, hey, I must take a
Badone.
I have to take a few props because of my love prediction. You know, Zach, and I don't remember if you did, but you guys, I know Zach did.
Oh, I've definitely
shit on Love.
Yeah, I hate
and
Love.
He's had a really good year.
I don't love Love.
No, he's had a good
love
year.
hate.
They finished 9-8, and it wasn't those 8 losses. A lot of them wasn't because of him. I thought he had a pretty good year. I don't like LaFraud as the coach, but they made the playoffs to the 7th seed. They're going to play the Cowboys.
They've kept LaFraud in a job for how many years now?
Well, he's had good quarterbacks, and he had another good year of quarterback play, so he's going to get credit for
Remember that shitty Aaron Rodgers year? He still kept his job.
Even though I say that Love.
That thing is blowing.
So 7.5 point spread for the Cowboys at home.
This is per ESPN bets.
I didn't pull up Insider because I'm about to
sleep.
I'm about to die. Yeah, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
But that was but that's going to be about right, and it's what I've seen. I don't foresee any issues. Now there is a lot of talk that Mike McCartney will be fired if they lose this game, and Dan Quinn will be named head coach. My prediction is Dan Quinn's already talking to Seattle, the Seahawks, and
that's what I'm saying. Dan Quinn's already.
Yeah. So
Dan Quinn's already in conversation with somebody.
Yeah. So, you think that Green Bay's got a shot?
No, not against Dallas.
And you're picking the Eagles to beat Tampa.
Yeah, just on. It's really hard with the way that the Eagles have been playing. To pick them, I might actually pick Tampa.
I don't know. The
defense.
Well, it's time to pick. I mean, our picks are right now.
Patricia's defense is. Oh, that's a coin toss. That game's a coin toss.
I don't know. I like them being.
Whoever they go against, they're going to lose.
Either
team, whoever they go against, is going to lose.
Yes, you're off the Eagles train this year.
Yeah, no, I'm on the Purdy train, baby.
But you don't think that.
But we can't talk about him right now because they're not playing.
You don't think that Tampa. You don't think Tampa could beat the Lions?
I think that's a very close game, but no, I don't think they beat Tampa.
That would be the matchup.
Well, that's going to be the matchup if Tampa wins and Tampa didn't up in Dallas.
No.
Yeah, they would.
Oh, they would. Yeah.
They
would. No, Tampa would. No, never mind. Tampa would have to play the 49ers, and that would be a loss because they'd be the 4th seed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Tampa would play. So that's what you're
Yes.
That's exactly what you're looking at.
Yes.
What direction do you want to go?
Well,
do you want Green Bay to win and have that?
Well, I'd take that.
The Rams to win.
If I thought,
and you have that.
Hey, if I thought Tampa had a legitimate shot to go deep in the playoffs,
we need to talk about that return game.
If I thought they had a legitimate shot, but they don't. So
L.A., Detroit. That's going to be a fun game.
Well,
that's a return.
Let's move on to
a team that gave up on a quarterback who won a title.
Did a trade
for a team that gave up on a quarterback that had went to the.
Now they didn't.
Title
now Stafford
and
didn't give up on him. They actually did him a favor, but they took the golf and the draft picks with that.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, thank you.
But you know what I mean.
And I think both has been a pretty big win for both.
It's definitely a win for both.
And I have always kind of shit on Goff a little bit when he was at Even
Did I
when
tell you I got to see his first rookie game?
even when he was at the Rams,
Did
you
I
know,
tell
even
you-
they
did
went
I
to the
tell you
Super
that?
Bowl.
Did I tell you that
you
I
know.
saw that game? When they pulled Case Keenum and stuck Goff in? Dolphins.
do?
I was sitting 50-yard line.
How'd he do?
He did decent. I forgot they were playing the terrible Miami team.
Oh, okay.
So you can't.
Before Tua, pre-Tua, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. This was.
Oh, I know. It's been a long time.
This is a long time ago.
I was just shitting with it.
This is they were still playing in the Coliseum.
No, but okay, so let's talk about Lions and Rams. You know what? I was looking at the statistics for these playoff teams. Most everybody is listed in the top for offense. And this is a funny stat, too. Offense, I had every team in the playoff was top 10 except New Orleans in offense. New Orleans snuck in there at 9. Then I looked at the playoff teams for the defense. Everyone was in the top 7 except New Orleans. They snuck in at number 8 there. So, but you've got teams down there on the defense.
Well,
You've got the Eagles,
New
Detroit,
Orleans-
and Miami,
New
and the
Orleans
Rams.
benefited from the fact that Seattle blew. Did they lose that last game?
Oh, no, they killed Atlanta. That's what put me in tied for first.
No, Seattle. Seattle was playing.
Oh, I didn't even see. I don't even remember
Arizona.
Seattle playing. I don't remember. Didn't take
because
it.
I know that they were.
Didn't touch that trash.
Because they could have gotten in. New Orleans could have gotten in had Tampa lost,
Yes, that would have been true.
and
But Tampa's 7th defense, but you know,
and Atlanta lose because they won
but
that
statistically, you're looking at the matchups. And you're looking
I know what you're talking
at the
about.
predictions. If it's not Ravens and 49ers, it won't even fit. According to that, you know, it would be perfect to fit for the Ravens 49ers because 49ers are 3 in both, and the Ravens are 1 and 4. But here's the secret to all this.
Everybody, it's Coach.
Well, no,
Teats'
it's not really the secret. Is no one is giving. Let's talk about the Rams and the Lions.
Dude, the Rams have the top
We'll preview
receiver
them.
and the top running back in the league. Rookie.
Yeah, rookie.
And Detroit just lost their top rookie tight end.
So I'm asking,
I don't know if he's going to play.
are you picking Detroit in that one? I think that's the best game out of all of them, in my opinion. Just because of the whole, you know, the drama, the quarterbacks coming back.
I know.
It's a Detroit home game in
They
the
won't be
playoffs. How long's that been? I don't know, the 80s.
Stafford won't be passing.
For a home
I can
game.
tell you that.
So,
because that Detroit secondary is really good.
but I do, but
But
both
the rushing,
but both the Rams,
LA's rushing
but
defense.
both the Rams and the Detroit was in the bottom half of defensive statistically.
Bottom half of
The league
What? Oh, Detroit.
for
and-
Detroit or for defense is what I'm saying.
Oh my God!
And obviously
did Detroit pull a fucking Minnesota?
they're down there. Yeah, they're down there.
Oh, it's horrible.
But Eagles actually ended up being
What do
one
you
of
got Tampa
the
at?
in the worst. They're 7th at the defense, way down here on offense,
Oh.
20th. So that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I'm
statistically, you're looking
I'm
at
gonna
that.
take Detroit.
I am too.
Now we also got
Close
to see,
game, though.
Very
Close game.
We also got to see if Williams will catch the damn ball. I've seen that he's been a huge disappointment in Detroit.
Who?
Williams, Jared, what?
Jameson.
Yeah, the guy that you drafted.
I know.
Yeah.
He hasn't played much, and of course he was out for. Was he the gambling guy out for? I drafted.
Yeah.
I drafted him thinking.
He
that
also
was,
had Puka Nakua, who.
what a surprise!
Ver-
Probably.
we talked about the Rams had probably the best draft class that
They're
nobody
sharp. Mhm.
that nobody knew about.
They build fast. Kyron Williams too. I mean, that guy can run like whodunit, and you know, it's one of those things. I don't think that Nakua's gonna win Rookie of the Year. I think it's gonna be Stroud.
Oh, yeah,
Simply simply for the position and because they're going to the playoffs and yada yada yada. But I think he's gonna be right there.
Nakua's in there.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna be a close second.
Okay, see, here's one of the problems. The problem is that they don't really look at a lot of shit. They don't really look at your stats. They look at your media hype.
Oh, well, definitely gonna be Stroud then.
A lot of that's what I'm saying.
Who watches football in LA? No one, really. Kinda. Is it Chargers?
Like
No.
everybody that well, they watch their team play.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing.
Well, there's been more media because the Rams actually had a good year.
There
back
has,
in the
there has, and Nakua's been up there, but it'll be a surprise if Nakua or Kyrene
I would
win,
go. I would go.
win, actually win. There's
I think
two
Stroud. I
generational
think
talents
Stroud.
that we did not
think
see as
Stroud.
generational talents, and that Kenny's generational talents have all faltered.
No, they didn't.
Jalen Carter.
Didn't have. I mean, he had a pretty good year. He started for a Super Bowl team.
You have already
A
started.
Super Bowl team. He started. Well, I was thinking.
Bijan Robinson.
His coach didn't play him right, and that's why he's fired.
Zay Flowers.
That's why definitely good. Won you some freaking fantasy games. No, I think that.
But not generational.
Going back to I think so, and I think Gibbs.
He's on a team.
He
needs to be on a team that passes.
I think Gibbs is going to be the same way. I mean, I think
he needs to be on a team that passes.
It's just some of these kids when they come out.
Gibbs,
have not been
I told you, taking
position.
a rookie running back or even a wide receiver is dangerous because he went in right behind David Montgomery, and David Montgomery had just signed that big contract.
Well, I know.
So
that's why they had to play him more.
Who was going to get
the
majority?
At the end, Gibbs was getting more of the carries.
Did they not both have 1,000-yard season?
No, Gibbs was a little bit below.
Okay,
but the carries were quite a bit different.
Right.
Yeah. So all right. You've got
even
got the Lions.
Team,
I've got Lions real close.
Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit close.
Oh, I can't even tell you what it's going to be a 17-20 score. How about that?
What?
Yep, 17-20.
Is that your prediction?
That's it. That's all. It's going to be tight.
What was your Eagles Tampa score?
Oh, 34-38. Let's go with that. Philly.
What? 34-38.
34-38. Okay. Philly.
That's a lot of scoring. See, I'm totally opposite. I think that the Tampa game is going to be low scoring, and I think this game is going to be a little higher scoring. So, what's your prediction? I'll go 38-31.
For what? This game?
Oh, 4. How about 38-34?
What are you doing? Did you not write who?
Yeah, I got it right up here. S and K.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's your pick?
What do you mean? I just told you.
Repeat Detroit for me, so I can write that down.
I forgot already.
I know. What did you say, like 17-14 or something crazy?
No. 20-17.
Okay. Oh, no, not that crazy. Okay. So,
all right, let's do 24-20. How about that? 24-20. I'm Kenny Reese.
All right. There we go.
I don't write shit down.
So that's what's our third game to review?
Third game.
Let's go Dallas.
Oh, third game. Oh, yeah, for the bleep
for the review.
For the bleep
for the review.
I don't know where I'm at. Where did I go? Dallas definitely.
This is
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, but this is kind of another storyline. Nope. You know, McCartney going back to Green Bay. I think they're gonna try to make that up a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna try to.
They're gonna try.
Dallas is definitely the more the complete team.
Are we sleeping on Dallas?
Nope.
Okay. So you're just thinking
they've got a 35-10.
Oh my God!
Oh! I hate Green Bay. You know how much I hate Green Bay?
42-24.
I can't even use turd yellow and poop green
42-24. Yeah, from the Green Bay fan. All right.
For the Green Bay.
For the Chicago fan hating on Green Bay.
Thank you. All right, AF skis. We have a.
Do the Steeler one. Let's start with that one. It's the most boring.
Fine. Steelers going to Buffalo. It's a nooner.
Yeah, I know. Cold as shit. Looks like it's going to be about
3 degrees.
20. No, that's the other game we'll talk about.
It says 23, so that's probably.
Oh, I thought you said 3. It's going to be.
No, but it's going to feel like 3.
24 degrees.
You're
76% chance of snow.
It's going to be a heavy run game for both teams.
It's going to be snow.
I'm taking the Bills 17-14.
Really?
Yep.
All right, I'll go 28-17.
TJ Watt is still questionable.
Yeah, I saw that injury. There was some
huge
people that played a little later than they should have.
I know. Well, they were playing to get in, so they had to keep playing.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. You get these injuries of guys that have to keep playing to get in.
All right, moving on. What's the next game? Is there anything? Bills are my Super Bowl sleeper, so they're going to have to win.
The only team out of the AFC that I'm looking forward to. Hold on, let's do this trash game.
No, No.
Kansas City, Kansas City, Miami.
You just think that's not going to be a good game?
Tyreek's going to go there, and I tell you, if something goes wrong, this joke has already been made, and I forgot who made it.
There is a lot of storylines. I'm just telling you.
Tyreek's going to go back, and if it goes wrong, Tyreek's just going to give a toddler a lighter and just set the place.
Oh boy, they pulled that one, didn't they?
Who done it?
There is no way in hell that if I was in Vegas or we could actually legally bet here in Oklahoma, Governor Kevin Stitt, can you get that shit going, please?
No, he's too busy fighting with the natives.
I would lay the farm on the Chiefs on this one.
I would too.
Potentially the lowest starting game in history of
Miami
temperature.
does not.
Wind is going to be crazy.
Miami does not play well in
They don't
the cold.
at all. And I'm not talking this cold. They have some statistics when it's like below 30. This shit's at 1.
-1.
Well, it says there, but it's supposed to be 1 at kickoff, but it's going to get colder. And that's going to be a night game.
Oh, yeah. 7 p.m. And we have that weather system. That's
yeah,
what's
I know.
funny.
We're in it too. So
Kansas City, where that is, that's also us.
Now let's reverse that a little bit. Would this be one of the best wins Dolphins have ever had in playoff history?
Absolutely.
If they win,
absolutely.
That's what I thought too.
Absolutely.
Because I thought everything going against them. The Chiefs haven't played real well, but it doesn't matter. It's still.
It would be a better win than when they beat the Dallas in the snow.
Well, that was a
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but it was not a playoff game.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's better than that because that was a fun game.
All right, let's hear.
That was the game Leon let.
Let's hear your prediction.
I'm taking this. I'm taking this at 22 to 10.
I had 24-14. Yeah. So we were pretty close.
20, okay.
I don't know how the hell you're going to get 22. Safety.
Oh, seriously?
2 in the snow.
No, you got 3s.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
This is a kicking game.
All right, let's move on.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's move on to, I think, the biggest NFC game.
AFC.
Or AFC, I meant.
You don't even know where you're at.
I know. Is the Browns at the Texans.
Joe, I'm an old man Flacco who was just roaming around in a bath towel, 3 to 4 weeks ago? Like old man Kenny?
Top 10 now. They've moved up top 10 in offense.
Versus the striking, the
future?
The future. That's his nickname now. CJ Stroud, the future. I've never rooted for Ohio State quarterback, but come on, CJ.
Well, I think you're on record of saying they're all trash.
They are.
Draft them.
Still
That's what
are.
you said. That's exactly what you said.
I still wouldn't draft them.
That's what you said. I think they're trash, and I wouldn't draft an Ohio State quarterback.
I wouldn't draft an Alabama quarterback either.
So that'll put you down as a wrong on CJ Stroud.
That's not even. That's your child.
You're absolutely right.
No, I hate that button.
You're wrong.
I hate that button.
All right, 11-6 Browns, 10-7 Texans. Spread is actually Cleveland's favor. Does that surprise you a little bit?
What? No, it doesn't. Cleveland's defense is statistically better than.
Now, Cleveland's defense actually moved down a little bit.
After the
overall,
last
it was a 14. But the one thing you were looking at was that they go on a lot of points, and it's the running defense and the things that they really keep those down.
If you don't look at points,
if you statistically. Now, this was overall, so points they were a little higher.
Yeah, slip it over, start looking. Yes. And this is what you and I have had an argument about. How do they figure complete defense and offense?
Well, they play too much into points, but that does matter in the end.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, that is what matters in the end.
Yeah, but you can lose a game 9-0, and that goes against your points, even though you gave up very few yards.
It actually should be more of a you can lose a game or win a game 31-30. You give up a lot of points on defense. It could have been just one of those odd games. So anyway, C.J. Stroud, your rookie of the year, I think, 4,100 yards. 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
I want to say that he is, but like I said, media.
I mean, Nico's been a surprise too.
Nico, Tank Dell, before he got injured.
Yeah, I mean, so they've done good, and obviously the defense is good too.
Will
for the
Anderson
Texans
Jr.,
also.
who I said take above.
Yeah, so they're
Jalen Carter.
So they are. Their defense is. So their offense, their defense was actually ahead overall of the Browns, but the Browns on paper, or I'm sorry, when you look at them play, they're just better. Mm-hmm. And now my deal is does Flacco keep this going? Is he going to be able to do that? The Browns, look at the record, 3-5 away. They play very boring. I think that's the thing I don't like about Stefanski, but it's getting them there. It's 11-6.
Here's an issue with the Browns. You have a quarterback that's been there before, that's been to the playoffs, that knows how to do it. Coming in with a team from Houston who has not been in the playoffs since.
Probably that debacle when against Kansas City when they were up, 23-24. It was Deshaun It was Bill O'Brien.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson was the coach. Or quarterback, I meant, and Bill O'Brien was quarterback or coach.
And
Let me
they had
spit that out.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes. So
like I said, these kids are coming in and they have not been there before, and it plays out almost like a book that,
what's your prediction?
I'm taking the Browns. I'm taking the Browns in a it'll be 27-23.
So here's
I want to say that the Texans are going to be marching at the end of the game to try to win, and it's going to be
something happen.
Yeah. But like I said, Flacco's been there. There's guys on that defense that have been there. So you do have. Oh God, I sound like Kenny. I'm saying a lot.
I know.
So you do have. So you do have leadership that has been there that knows what's going on. Now, second game probably not going to be the same way. But yes, the Browns do go in, beat the Texans. I'm sorry, Houston fans. It's how it's going to have to be. You got young kids. They're going to repeat next season, and
I totally disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think that Houston wins, and I tell you why. I think that the Browns had the benefit this year of playing against a not up to par Bengals team. I think they also had the advantage of playing against, even though I think they split, the Steelers' offense wasn't that good. And then who am I missing? Who's
Ravens.
And the Ravens, obviously, well, they're the cream of the crop. But I don't know. I think that something about this Texas team, I think they're going to come in hungry. I think they're going to play a little more lights out than Cleveland. And that's what I think the thing about them is they play boring football, which is kind of that, Midwest type NFL football. I agree with that. But the Texans are going to be a lot of showmanship, a lot of run, a lot of go. And I think I'm going to give that one I'm going to give it 30-27 close. I think more points are scored in this game than most people think, and I like the advantage of being at home in the
Houston.
Dome. Yeah, for Houston.
Oh yeah,
so that's going to be my pick.
Nobody has any effect.
Yeah.
Is there a game that is not in it? Is that the only Dome game this week?
Oh no, there's plenty of Dome games. You've got Detroit, Dallas. Now the Tampa Bay we didn't talk about.
Dallas doesn't count. You can retract the.
They're going to have it closed.
So they can look at God's butthole.
They're going to have it closed, and I think that Tampa. The issue about that too, which I didn't like Tampa too, is it looks like it's going to rain. Well, obviously temperature's going to be fine, but looks like
you
rain.
Guys play like shit in the rain,
and we don't run the ball well, and that's why I think the Eagles will run that down. It's got some precipitation. Yes.
Are you going to get beat by Marcus Mariota?
No, that's a possibility, and that would be disappointing, wouldn't it? So, all right, well, there's our picks this week for NFL. We'll be back next week after. I think it'll be Monday or Tuesday.
Can you do Tuesday?
Yep. And we'll be back we'll be back Tuesday after the Monday playoff game to recap all the games. We'll talk about coaching updates about who's taking what job and where they're going, especially since now
that's what he says, but it's never going to work out that way.
We'll do it. We'll be
never
here.
Works
we'll
out
see you Tuesday. As you said, you're off Tuesday.
I'm off Tuesday.
We'll be here Tuesday, baby. We will be here Tuesday.
These are lies and promises that come to you.
We'll be here Tuesday,
Kitty.
and we'll have a guest on Tuesday out here. We're just not going to mention yet who it's going to be, but we'll have a third.
Hey, we've had numerous guests that were supposed to be here.
But we're going to have in person.
We don't have.
We're going to have an in-person guest, but
we had a child here for 5 minutes.
It's going to be huge for the NFL.
Slamming the doors,
and the coaching is going to be huge because that's always one of my favorite times to see these
we'll know better. We'll know better. Well, there's also still staff that needs to get fired. They're still firing,
and people are looking.
Belichick was ambiguous when he left. He told everybody it's business as usual, and just left it at that. So that's another what is happening.
I'm leaning the Jared Mayo associate head coach, like I said, and a general manager being picked. That's my pick. So I'm gonna lean that way. So until we see you next time, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh, we will. Oh God, the door just slammed again.
We're not done.
Yeah, we are.
No.
What? Did you want to talk?
Yeah.
Okay, well, come here and talk. I got to piss. Actually, dude,